I also want to recognize a gentleman by the name of Don Doty and his wife. And Don, you know what, I met Don because someone in my Total Life Changes organization, George, asked me to come to the meeting at Chase Bank on 35th and King Drive and do a presentation because I'm really good at helping churches and organizations. And when I work with churches, most of the time they want to try to throw me up there to preach, but you know, and sometimes I'll go and sometimes I'll just preach where I'm at. And but you know, he asked me to come there, and you know, Don wasn't there yet, but they were opening up, and the Sergeant of Arms was here. I think she's here. She said, "We got to open up a prayer. Do we have any ministers here?" And nobody said a word. I just said, "Well, I'll pray." And you know, I just prayed. And I was supposed to speak for 30 minutes at the end, but then as you open up a meeting, they said, everybody stand up and introduce yourself for 2 minutes. And you know, most people don't take 2 minutes. They take 2 minutes. It seems like, you know, some people take 10 or 15 minutes. You know, so when it came my time, they took it so long, I had to leave. But they were talking about some things that were really important to me because I know people who had actually died from these things, that have a challenge with these things. You know, that's hepatitis and HIV. And then, so I was really just struck by that. So it was my turn to speak, and I think I spoke for 3 minutes, really, really quickly. And everybody started running to me and wanting to talk and exchange because I know how to communicate and create value very, very quickly. And then I was on my heart, and I said, look, I want to make a donation. And I just wanted to make a donation to them, so I asked George to come. George followed me to the car, and he did. And I wrote him a check, and he went in. And Don called me the next day, and Don has not stopped calling me. And, you know, and then Don told me he wanted me to come out to this club. I thought it was his exclusive swing club to meet his friends. And I met him at the club, and his exclusive swing club. It was Club 43 in the Rat Pack. Was anybody doing the Rat Pack? And I've been doing the Rat Pack since I was 18 years old, speaking in the club. They all knew me. So Don wanted to introduce me to them, but everybody knew me. And the great thing about that, and thank goodness, everybody has something really, really good to say. And I have not always, you know, nobody has a sparkling clean record, right? But thank goodness I must have done something right. So I'm thankful for that. So then Don called me up and said, well, look, next year I would like you to be the chairperson. And he's talking about, and we're doing a fundraiser with, in honor of Jimmy Carter, President Carter, and do a big thing downtown. And I'm really honored. And I want to make a presentation. So I give Mr. Doty, come to the front if you would. If you can bring your wife if you like, or anybody else you want to bring up here. All right. And I want them to tell a little bit about their organizations, but I wanted to present them with something that I just wanted to give to your organization. Just for believing you and say thank you for the good work that you all are doing. And I would like to also present the Doty Foundation with a check and say thank you. And I pray that I can live up to the trust that you guys gave me. And you know, my pastor came out here the other morning and he said he couldn't stay, but he gave me a check for $100 to buy 2 tickets to this event that he couldn't stay for. And you know, you want to say here it's not necessary, but that's really insulting because sometimes you got to learn how to receive and just say thank you. Does that make sense? And then Don actually bought tickets, and they all brought tickets, and they paid money to buy tickets to support us as we're supporting them back because we want to be the example that, you know what, you'll get it all if you give it all. I want to present you with this check, and I want to present you with this check. All right? That's a check, so I know you can't take that. That one bounces. That can work. Mr. Doty. Well, he's going to get emotional. And, no, you tell him.
He'll be all right.
And when he does, I got his back. I would be his Aaron. I would be the Aaron to Moses.
I want to really thank you. When he came into our meeting, I didn't know who this man was. The man walked in and dropped down a $1,000 check, and I'm like, who is he? You know what I mean? And I was very impressed by it being like a spiritual intervention to allow me to come here and meet so many people. I'm from Los Angeles, Mayor Harold Washington, and a very prominent, wealthy millionaire named W. Clement Stone, for those who remember him, brought me here to Chicago. My mother, Georgia Doty, we operated a welfare to work allied health training school. And so breaking the cycle of welfare dependency, his PMA Positive Mental Attitude program, like Napoleon Hill's, it was a thing to break the cycle of government subsidy to these women to make them strong and independent. Well, we got a $2 million grant for President Carter, so we were no longer a storefront operation anymore. And one of the reasons why we're recognizing President Carter is overcoming cancer, but overcoming the fact of the Affordable Care Act. Very supportive of that. But the $2 million provided us an opportunity to train and provide jobs for 5,000 Los Angeles residents. When I came here to Chicago, the school we set up was called Center for Employment Training. And for 28 years, it's one of the leading trade schools in Chicago. Our last address was at 100 Northwestern. So we took 5,000 people off of welfare and we gave them jobs in the allied health field. We took 2,000 men coming out of prison and we taught them trades that didn't require a background check, which was in building maintenance, construction trades. So we were able to provide jobs for most of the ethnic communities here in Chicago. So now, by the donation he just gave me, I can hire the consultants necessary to facilitate the awards dinner for President Carter. By honoring him and recognizing him, then the story of how our mother and how the program started and the people we trained will come up under it. But the focus will be on President Carter, and Mr. Dentley gave me an opportunity to do that, and I want to thank you.
And there's yeah, you didn't cry. Man, but I might. And right now, the grant that we're seeking to further that work, what is going to be required to get this work done? Because I know people in many states have contacted you and want you to take the same program and take it throughout the country. Could you tell us a little bit about
I wanted to know, we just honored U.S. Congressman James Clyburn. Hold on. Barack Obama was the one that believed in the program when he was a state senator. And so he got us $20,000 to get started. I got hepatitis C as I was serving in the military. The air gun that was used for vaccination it affected every senior veteran over the age of 65. The benefit they're giving me is great for compensation, but I'd rather not have had the illness. But I'm blessed though, because as of 2 weeks ago, I'm clear. So I'm trying to educate others in that area. So we have several grants now reaching 1,000 veterans and educating on hepatitis C. But not only the veterans, it's a lot of black people itself have to learn and educate about this hepatitis C. It's a silent killer. Nurses are getting it in the hospital just by accidentally injecting. Every person who has HIV has hepatitis as a co-infection. It's a disease that you don't know where it comes from. I mean, it's like I was in Vegas going on a vacation and I donated blood. And I got a phone call saying, hey, something wrong with your blood. I'm like, what's wrong with my blood? You got Hep C. Well, being the only black manager marketing at United Healthcare, for those who are familiar with United Healthcare, it was for me to go out and train all my employees and staff to avoid any women that are pregnant. I'm to tell you, avoid women that are pregnant because we don't want to spend that money. And in fact, don't sign up anybody with hepatitis. Well, I hadn't told them that I had hepatitis. So, but yet I'm telling you to avoid people like me. So I had to stand true to myself. And I told them, this is the problem that I'm having. Don't know where it came from. Because no one knows where it came from until they investigated and found out that I got it from the air gun before I went to Vietnam. And so that issue became an issue where I had to decide the $150,000 a year for a guy with a 2-year education, college education. Where am I going to get $150,000? That was the best job I had in the world. But I had a choice to be for real to myself of why I came to Chicago and to my wife, and to make a decision that I had to give up the money, and I set up my own nonprofit, and now I'm about to go national.